A very good morning to all of you. Today we will going to start our new topic of Unit 7 of Power System Protection, that is System Protection Schemes. Let's start the topic. So what actually system protection schemes are? These system protection schemes, which are also called as remedial action schemes, are designed to detect abnormal system conditions, typically contingency related, and initiated pre-planned corrective action to mitigate the consequences of the abnormal condition and provide acceptable system performance. So in easy words we can say that these are the schemes which we use in intentional and non-intentional interruption conditions. So your system protection scheme actions include, among others, changes in load, generation or system configuration to maintain system stability, acceptable voltage or power flow. System protection scheme is also used as the acronym for special protection scheme, which has the same meaning as system protection scheme. However, it was recommended that word special be replaced by the word system, since it can be argued that all protection is special in some fashion. So IEEE uses the system integrity protection system, that is and RAS is used by so IEEE basically use system integrity protection system, and RAS is used by BPA, WECC and other users term SPS. So according to community, like researcher communities, everybody is using their own terms. Today in many parts of the world, a system protection scheme represent a viable planning alternative to extending transmission extending a transmission system capability. Although your system protection scheme deployment usually represent a less cost alternative than building new infrastructure, it carries with it unique operational element, among which are risk of failure on demand and of inadvertent activation, risk of interacting with other system protection scheme is in unintended way, increased management, maintenance, coordination requirement, analysis complexity came. The objective of the work described here, we are going to describe here, are to summarize the state of the art in regard to special protection scheme or your system protection scheme, including closely related technology in other industries, provide a structured frame for assessing system protection scheme risk, and examine system protection scheme as a viable planning alternative in which we consider how to identify limit of system protection scheme deployment within a system. So that was actually introduction of system protection scheme in power system. So let's start with our further system protection schemes generally refer to controllers having some or all of the following characteristics. And what are these characteristics? SPS can be armed or disarmed depending on the system conditions. SPS, your system protection scheme, are normally dormant systems. Initiating event usually occurs less than once a year. System protection scheme usually employ discrete feed-forward control laws. The control action taken is predetermined in most cases. Typically, some form of communication is involved in the control action. So, and see your this figure, that is figure number 1, is representing the general structure of system protection scheme. So according to their control variable, system protection scheme can be classified as response based or event based. So response based system protection scheme are based on measured electrical variables such as voltage, frequency, etc., and initiate their protective action when the contingency has caused the measured value to hit the trigger level. The two most common response based types of system protection scheme are under frequency load shedding and under voltage load shedding. So event-based system protection scheme are designed to operate upon the recognition of particular combination of events, such as your loss of several lines in a substation. For example, generation rejection, load rejection, system separation, turbine wheel control, load and generation rejection, out of step relaying, discrete excitation control, dynamic braking, your generator run back, VAR compensation, combination of schemes. It is useful to give some example. Now I want to tell you about some examples which are not system protection scheme, but can be can confuse you with that. For example, see, transmission devices designed to provide dynamic control of electrical system quantities, which typically involve feedback control mechanism using power electronics to achieve the desired electrical system dynamic response during normal operation condition, are not considered as system protection scheme, but instead as transmission control devices. See, example of such equipment and devices which are active during normal operating condition include static VAR compensator, power system stabilizer, active or reactive power flow control or compensation. And one more example is transmission line auto reclosing is aimed to improve stability or supply capability of the system, but the auto reclosing is regarded as being a part of the line protection. Hence, transmission line protection with auto reclosing is regarded as a more advanced form of unit protection for the line than line protection without auto reclosing. Restoration is not protection. Mark it, restoration is not protection. And moreover, for make it more clear, see, your overload protection of equipment is not an system protection scheme. So in general, system protection scheme are distinguished from unit or equipment protection in that a protection system is called a system protection scheme when the focus of the protection is on the power system supply capability rather than on specific equipment. The composition of the composition of your system protection scheme generally includes measurement input, sensor, breaker, communication equipment, logic solver software, power supply, monitoring devices. So let's discuss all these one by one. Measurement input. You all know that these may include one or more of like power system voltage, current synchronized to local measurement in the same substation, or they may be wide area synchronized. Your power system frequency, polarity reversal, control signal including automatic voltage regulator, power system stabilizer, governor, HVDC converter, and so on. Status like circuit breaker position, tap change position, whether generator field current limiter is activated or not, last valid state data such as, for example, telemetry data, arming level and threshold. And what about sensors? Sensors, these you all know, these are devices that measure the power system condition. Generally they include relay and breaker switches, status detector. Relay may step generator power output level, line loading, power level, etc. Neither loss of current nor loss of power can be used alone to determine that a line is open, because they both go through 0 as power flow reverse direction on line. So what is your caution must be taken in determining setting required to distinguish between local fault or system problem by using rate of change of current, voltage, power or frequency. Out of step relay may be used in some cases for detecting pending instability. However, these are usually applied only where it is acceptable to wait until the swing is coming out of the swing setting of the relay before taking corrective action. Next is breaker. These are tripping equipment basically. You better know that breaker are used to disconnect a faulty part or any part of the power system under maintenance condition. So it can be operated in abnormal or abnormal both the condition. Next one is communication equipment. This is the equipment that communicates the condition of a power system with the help of sensor to the logic solver, and the logic solver output finally to the actuating element. A robust communication network offer low error rate, low latency, high availability, high security, and is also deterministic. So that was your communication equipment. What is logic solver? The logic solver is that portion of a system protection scheme that performs one or more